We spent 48 hours in Bora Bora, the French Polynesian island that is a haven for honeymooners, Hollywood stars, discerning travellers and avid snorkelers and scuba divers. It's the most beautiful place we've ever visited in the whole world, and we're going to show you 10 unforgettable things we managed to cram into just 2 days. When we got home, we pinched ourselves and said, did we actually do that? Yes, we did, and so can you. Every single one of these 10 things you will never forget for the rest of your life. So come with us as we swim with sharks, play with stingrays, even have lunch with them. We visit famous bars and one of the world's best beaches, spend time with some incredibly friendly locals and share a very special flame-grilled barbecue, all while avoiding the dreaded coconut rain. It's the most concentrated list of unforgettable experiences you can have in such a short time, and we want to share every moment with you. Mayeva to Bora Bora. While Bora Bora has its own airport situated on its own islet off the main island, it is currently only served by Air Tahiti from another Polynesian island, so you can't arrive directly from international flights. In our opinion, the best way to arrive is by ship. It's a beautiful experience, and our vessel of choice was Windstar Cruises' Wind Spirit, a 4-mast sailing ship that has been sailing these waters almost exclusively for 35 years. She just fits into the Bora Bora scenery so perfectly, you'll be taking far too many pictures of her with that stunning backdrop. So, with the tender to the shore, you arrive at VOYAGE, the principal village. So what do you do first? Well, number 1 on our list is to hire a bike and go for a ride. Bora Bora has no public transport, so catching a bus around the island is, well, not possible. With a total area of around 30 kilometres and only 10,000 permanent residents, living in just 3 small villages, you walk, rent a car or hire a bike. The main road hugs the coastline, so you can ride as far as you want given the time you set yourself. So we set a time limit for a turnaround point and saw how many interesting places we could stumble across in that time. And that conveniently brings us to number 2 on the list, the world-famous Bloody Mary's Bar. Seafood specialty restaurant and bar Bloody Mary's has been an icon in Bora Bora since 1979, attracting celebrities from all over the world who consider this a must-visit when staying on the island. At the entrance to Bloody Mary's is a board listing all the famous people who've visited, and there's some pretty decent showbiz names on here. Well, except for the obvious 2.
We're just wondering when they're going to put...
Rush and Helen. Actually, we could actually write it on there ourselves.
There's a little spot and there, just for us.
Well, if it's good enough for them, right? I'll bet they don't rock up on a rented bike, though. There's a private jetty here for those discreet arrivals by private yacht, with a paparazzi-friendly lawn conveniently situated for those tabloid-friendly poses. Consisting of primarily vodka and tomato juice, the Bloody Mary is a common hair-of-the-dog drink, reputed to cure hangovers with its combination of a heavy vegetable base to settle the stomach, salt to replenish lost electrolytes, and alcohol to relieve head and body aches. But what was our verdict?
I must admit, I'm
not a fan of a Bloody
Mary. It's the first Bloody Mary I've had, and
I think if you get a more tomatoey Bloody Mary, they're quite nice. This is quite celery and quite spicy. It's obviously their sort of signature.
Their signature Bloody Mary is spicy and a bit weird.
Yeah.
If you like Bloody Marys,
very salty.
Yeah. I mean, if you like that, I mean, it's a great thing.
Sadly, there were no celebrities to gawp at while we were there, but you never know, you might be lucky. Now, if you're not too wobbly, we like to promote responsible drink cycling here. Our next stop a little further down the road is another place we highly recommend. The Bora Bora Beach Club. Okay, why so many fabulous bars on Bora Bora? Well, half the island's population is under 20 years old, and add in the huge tourism trade, I guess this island is as social as it gets. Who doesn't love a good old authentic beach bar? If you Google Bora Bora Beach Club, you'll get an extensive list of bars and clubs of that name that are not in Bora Bora. So why not cut the pretentious and obviously misleading branding and come to the authentic one that is actually on Bora Bora on a beach? Sitting here with a cool beer in hand, watching that crystal clear sea lap gently on the powdery sand below you is unbridled pure joy. Okay, back on the bikes just for a couple more minutes and you'll find this. Voted one of the top 10 beaches in the world in 2019, Matira Beach. This mile of exquisite white sand at the southern tip of Bora Bora is the only public beach on the island. And if this is the only one you can enjoy for free, wow, you don't need to go anywhere else. It's simply perfect. I mean, look at the colour of that water. The shallow sandy lagoon is what contributes to this beautiful aquamarine water. In fact, during low tide you can wade from Matira Point across the shallows out to the barrier reef. This is the only part of the island shallow enough to be able to do so. If you want to spend a bit more time on the bikes, the 32-kilometre or 20-mile Circle Island Road goes all the way around the island, so you can explore the whole of Bora Bora on one bike ride if you have the time. For us though, we've run out of time on our bikes and it's time to head back because we've still got 6 incredible things to show you, and believe it or not, we've saved the very best until now, so make sure you watch to the end. If you're enjoying this video and are interested in knowing more about Windstar's beautiful ships in French Polynesia, our preferred travel partner is Panache Cruises, the elite ocean, expedition, river and yacht style cruising specialists. The team at Panache has decades of combined knowledge and experience in finding the right cruise for you. For a completely personal service, their dedicated cruise connoisseurs will be right at your side from the initial inquiry until you get back from your dream cruise. They will help you with every aspect of your voyage, no question too big, no detail too small. Visit their beautiful website and make your next dream cruise, like the one we took on Wind Spirit, a reality. Now, back to the vlog. As mentioned, we visited Bora Bora using our favourite form of transport, cruise ship. A voyage on Windstar's Wind Spirit means not only do you get to see these islands from a completely new perspective to staying in a hotel, but you also get to go on some fabulous excursions that knock off many of our top 10 in one go. The one we booked, part of Windstar's concierge collection, was a 6-hour Bora Bora Lagoon and cultural tour, and it knocks off 4 of our next 6 fabulous things to do in Bora Bora in 48 hours. Number 5 on our list is a complete circumnavigation of the island by boat. Our guide Ramon whizzed us round the island from the safety and calmness of the giant lagoon that forms a natural barrier to the swells of the South Pacific. He pointed out all the ultra-luxury hotels with their uber-expensive overwater bungalows and even more costly private residences of interest. It's a great way to see the whole island, even if you are a little bit wary that Ramon seems to find no issue with playing a ukulele while steering the boat. I think I might call this rather unique multitasking being on Polynesian autopilot. After a while, we stopped for a swim with sharks. When we say swim with sharks, we mean lots of sharks, not just the odd one meandering up and looking totally disinterested. We had a rather disconcerting crowd of them. Actually, the collective noun for a group of sharks is a shiver of sharks. But you didn't know that. Well, I didn't. Black tip sharks like these are what to expect, but you might get lucky and spot a lemon shark or a grey reef shark too. Well, we've shivered with a shiver of sharks, and in these waters you can also play with stingrays too. I use the word play, as stingrays are in fact quite playful creatures. I remember once a guide out in Stingray City in Antigua telling us that stingrays have the temperament similar to a domestic cat. And here you can see exactly why. They are inquisitive, completely unafraid to come up to you and cause mischief by swimming under you and around your feet. Just don't step on one. The barb on their back is a defense mechanism that can administer an extremely painful sting. That's probably why the collective noun for these fascinating creatures is a fever of stingrays. My advice? Do the stingray shuffle in the shallow water. Shuffle your feet along the bottom, because as soon as you lift up your foot to take a step, one of these pesky things is swimming under it. While we're in these pristine, unspoiled waters, there's also an incredible opportunity to do a spot of reef snorkeling. Snorkeling and scuba diving is a huge attraction in Bora Bora. There are hundreds of underwater species present here, and I was fascinated by the coral reefs, the multitude of colourful fish, and especially these giant clams with their bright blue lips. A bed of clams, no less. They spend their entire life in one fixed location and can grow up to 200 kilograms in weight and live 100 years. Legends tell of giant clams being able to trap and even devour passing divers. Who'd have thought a clam was more dangerous than a shark? I think it's time we got out of the water, don't you? It's lunchtime. That's for us, not the clams. Part of this incredible excursion is having lunch on a private Motu. Lunch doesn't get more unforgettable than this. We were served a beautiful Polynesian buffet on our own hand-weaved plates and ate with our table actually in the lagoon, as a multitude of tropical fish and, yes, our inquisitive friends the stingrays swam under the table and between our legs and feet, probably hoping for a scrap or two of our meal. I have honestly never had a meal quite like this. It was incredible. As a bonus after lunch, before we set off back to base, our friendly guide Ramon gave us some traditional Polynesian tips on how to deal with the humble coconut, which is so prevalent here you can pick windfalls up from the side of the road for free. In fact, falling coconuts are quite a hazard on the island, which the locals comically refer to as coconut rain. After explaining the many uses for every single piece of the coconut, and a delicious tasting of course, we headed back.
Perfect end. Very good, yeah.
So what can you do with your final hours on Bora Bora? Apart from watching the sunset, and take it from me, Polynesian sunsets are the best sunsets. Why not head to another private Motu for a beach barbecue and a Polynesian cultural show? Don't worry about applying any insect repellent because all of French Polynesia is a pest-free zone, meaning it is free from insects and poisonous snakes. I'm loving this place more by the minute, aren't you? Here's a few ways to crack into a coconut that Ramon, strangely enough, didn't show us. To round off the fabulous 24 hours on Bora Bora, we were treated to a rather hot display of Polynesian manliness involving body oil, loincloths, fire and some particularly outrageous risk-taking. Occupational health professionals, look away now. Fire dancing has long been deeply embedded in the Polynesian culture as a way of sending messages to the gods. I think the message this performer was sending was, I don't want any more children. Why not get a feel for more than just Bora Bora as we explore the rest of the Society Islands in the Wind Spirit in these videos?